Okay. I'd like to introduce one of my neighbors and friends who I first met when she was probably about 6.
I think it was younger. Was it like 5 or 4?
5 or 4.
I think it was like right here. I probably couldn't even see you.
You know, but here she is, and I was very impressed with her at the rallies that Alyssa Redmond, what was the call? You know, she called. She was sitting back here. She had to leave early with her children, and then from the crowd in the Roe v. Wade rallies and the gun control rallies, you know, people just started coming up and coming up and coming up. And Eva was one of those people who spoke clearly, loud, and said, I thought, this is somebody we need to listen to. So here she is. She's got this platform. Take it away, Eva. Tell us what you got there.
I don't know if my voice can reach the back of my room, back of the room, because I'm really bad at public speaking. But mostly, I'm doing it for a cause. So it's fine. It's fine. We're good. We're fine. I'm just going to be reading off of a pre-written essay that I wrote for this occasion, and I will be looking down most of the time. People scare me, especially when I'm speaking to them. So I shall start now. When Jeffrey asked me to speak today, I had some apprehensions because of my limited skill, like I said, with public speaking. But with convincing from my grandmother, poof, I'm here. I came to talk to you about 2 very important issues for our youth. A little bit controversial, which is about what I'm going to say, but it's censorship and gun violence. To Kill a Mockingbird, The Hunger Games, and A Brave New World are a few of the books currently banned in some North Carolina schools today. What do they all have in common? They all challenge the current racial and governmental system. To Kill a Mockingbird is about not To Kill a Mockingbird. Oh yes, To Kill a Mockingbird, yes. Is about the childhood of Scout and Jem Finch, as their father, Atticus, defends a black man falsely accused of rape. The Hunger Games is a series of novels about the overthrowing of an old and violent, coarse government that they were trapped in. And last but not least, A Brave New World is about a society based on classes that gets challenged. 1 was banned for witchcraft, which I find hilarious, by the way, and 2 were banned for being morally corrupt. But I don't buy it. Even if these books were banned for those reasons, we already know that most things crude or morally corrupt, we knew once we were in middle school, let alone high school. Yes. I believe it's just another way to keep us down intellectually and physically. Another way we are put down intellectually is through our unbanned literature in schools, aka textbooks. We haven't always been ascending to greatness, despite what a certain past president has said. We actually sucked back in the day. When we first arrived to America, and dear old Christopher Columbus met the Indians, it was not sunshine and rainbows. Columbus forced natives to work for the sake of profits. Later, he sent thousands of Tahoe Indians to Spain to be sold. Many of them died during the journey. Natives who weren't sold into slavery were forced to work in gold mines and plantations. While he wasn't enslaving people, he was sexually assaulting and raping thousands of Indian women and sheep, which caused him and his male companions to catch Q fever. Yet we still celebrate him as a wholesome and morally sound hero in most schools in America. We were clearly never taught this in school, by the way. Did anybody here learn about that backstory of Christopher Columbus?
No.
Did anybody know at least a little smidge of it? I mean, I know Bob Johnson probably did, but I'm talking about the normal people in the audience.
History teachers are normal.
Well, they are normal, but they know more than the rest of us. Another prominent and well-celebrated holiday is based on lies too. Did you really think that our ancestors shared bread with the Indians? No, there is no evidence that the Indian people were even invited in the first place. An account from the time said that 90 members of the Wampanoag Indian tribe were present. It makes no mention of invitations. Some experts believe that the 90 men were an army sent by the Wampanoag leader at the sound of gunshots, which turned out to be part of the celebration. In their first encounter with the Wampanoag people, the pilgrims stole from their tribe's winter provisions. It wasn't until later, I can't pronounce this word, but Osamequin formed an alliance between the groups. He was the leader, by the way. Even then, the alliance was really only existed because the Wampanoag people were ravaged by diseases brought on by European coloners in the years prior. It was less about intercultural harmony and more about the survival. That first harvest was followed by deadly conflicts with coloners and native people. It does not seem like the same story that we know.
It's not.
And when we aren't being lied to in our school or kept in the dark about our past, we constantly feel the threat of gun violence in our schools. But not in the way that you would think. I'm going to be honest, my generation is desensitized to it. Back last year, midway through the school year, we had a code orange at my school. We were locked in the school, and there were policemen everywhere. My friends and I weren't distracted by the guards or that we were physically locked in the school. We just went on with our business. We felt nothing. And when I went out to go see my grandmother, I could tell she was terrified. People were picking up their students from school, and I remember being in the car with Alma. She was cool and collected like she always is, which I'm like, how? But her hands were shaking on the steering wheel. This shouldn't be normal. We shouldn't have to have bulletproof backpacks, which you can currently order off of Amazon for $25. I looked it up. And I also have a friend who carries blood capsules in his bag. So if there's ever a school shooting, you just break one in his mouth and pretend he's dead. We shouldn't have to do this. We shouldn't have to fake being dead for the chance that we might not be able to live. And it's terrible. It's so unfair that one person's life in our school system is treated like shit until we prove in a way that we are important to it. And for my last paragraph, which I accidentally fell asleep on last night and deleted, I am just going to read off statistics from a very good website that I think you should all check out. It's called gunviolencearchive.org. The total number of gun violence deaths in America is 30,783. 14,151 are homicide or intentional murder. 16,632 are suicides. In mass shootings, 472 have been injured. Or no, there are 472 mass shootings that have happened this year. Mass murders, 21. Number of children from the age of 0 to 11 killed, 232. Injured, 523. Number of teens aged 12 to 17 killed, 927. Injured, 2,617. Officer involved in incident killed, 52. Officer killed or injured, 246. And there has been, which is a whole different other issue, 1,101 unintentional shootings. And yeah, I just want to thank you all for letting me speak. And please take into consideration what I've said today and remember that we are your future. It could be a scary future or it could be a good future. You just need to figure out what you're doing before that happens.
And she thought she wasn't a good public speaker.
I jumped around so much.
You done good, Eva. You done good. We're proud of you. We are proud of you. And the issues are just so immense. They're just incredible. And as she speaks of the unintended kind of stuff from gun violence, I've got my survivor button. Unintended, good guy with a gun. I solved the problem, and then for some weird reason, he shot me. So this is strange and difficult stuff, but can be terrifying. You're right. Been there. I know. Catherine, another voice coming to speak to us from the Young Democrats organization, and you know, she just got appointed to some national youth thing from North Carolina.
I was elected, actually.
Yeah, elected. So you know something about elective office?
Yes.
You do? How did you learn about elective office? Were you doing something with Nita Alam?
Yes. Yes. I can introduce myself if that would make it easy.
Tell us all your credentials. Go for it.
Hi, folks.
Catherine Jeans.
I will give you the most abbreviated version of my email signature that I can deliver in a short time. I'm a digital consultant that works with a small consulting firm, mostly doing a lot of work out west this year. But previously, I did digital for a congressional candidate who was working in the 4th District running for Congress. But did not win, and so now we are supporting the Democratic nominee for Congress, Valerie Foushee, in the 4th District this year. Very excited to have more Democrats representing us nationwide. For what I do with the party, and that's what I'm most proud of, I am part of the Young Democrats of North Carolina. I'm from Cabarrus County. I was born and raised in Cabarrus County and Iredell County. And my family has been from around here for a hot moment. My uncle actually used to be a manager at that Krispy Kreme down the street. So, he's no longer with us, but he's with those donuts, so I'm happy to show up today. I also serve as press secretary for the president of the Young Democrats of America. And I bring news from the DNC meeting currently happening, it's ending today in National Harbor, Maryland, where I was elected as an at-large representative to the DNC's Youth Council. Thank you very much, y'all. I represent the Young Democrats of North Carolina on the National Committee of the Young Democrats of America, which also means I represent not only the Young Dems, but this area of Rowan Cabarrus on the North Carolina Democratic Party's Executive Committee. So I took that whole being a youth party officer kind of seriously, and that's kind of what I want to talk about today, especially because of something that you said, which is that we are the future. And I want to make it very clear, we are not the future, we are the present, because we are alive and we are here and we have issues that need to be addressed. Gun violence, censorship in schools, these are important youth issues, but who is advocating for them? We are our own best advocates for the current issues that we are facing. However, youth party officers scare people. We come with new ideas, we come with new problems they're presenting, and there's already so many, there's a laundry list of things that need to be accomplished by party officers at any time. They don't like people coming on and say, add it to your list. They don't like people saying, focus on something new. They don't like hearing student debt has to be addressed because they say we have this many things that we already need to accomplish. But here's the problem. When it comes to things like violence in our schools, these are life and death issues for people who cannot vote. We need people in the youth structure to have people who are supporting them. I am 22 years old. Of the people who were just elected to the youth council, I am the youngest. I'm not the youngest person on the youth council because they have allotted seats for folks like college Dems, for high school Dems. I'm neither of those things. But of the people who were elected at large just this past week, I am the youngest. And there is a reason I was able to do that. I have people at home in Cabarrus County. I have people who support me in this state. I had people at the national level of the Young Democrats of America who held my hand and supported me and walked me through this process. I haven't done anything except for show up to meetings and do my job and do my work. Get on the doors, get on the phones, do what needed to be done. And there's a list of young people who are capable of the same. But what they don't have is people who are willing to put their necks out, to hold hands, to cross the roads, and to show people the way forward. The people who are showing up, they are willing to be in these positions. The Young Dems need people. We always need people. Top on down, we are recruiting people all the time. High turnover part of the party, Young Dems, because people just keep aging. I can't stop it. They keep getting older. So we are always recruiting people, we always need people. But what happens when somebody goes into a room they have never been in before? When I got to the youth council, the chair of the party, Jamie Harrison, DNC chair, was in that room. It takes a lot of confidence to say, sometimes it takes a lot of confidence and we don't have time to learn that confidence, but it takes a lot of confidence to say the things that need to be said in a room full of people that you don't know, in a room full of people whose titles scare you. It takes a lot of confidence to go into those spaces and to think, I am risking a lot here, and I need someone who knows that if this doesn't work out for me, I can go home. I'm gonna be welcome back home. I'm gonna be welcome back to the Cabarrus County Dems HQ. I'm gonna be welcome back. I'm gonna have my family here that's gonna support me when I try and when I fail. This is a call to action to everyone in the room, please. If there is a young person in your life who is looking at getting involved in this party and is looking at climbing that ladder to make the biggest noise that they can for their community, for our state at the national level, for our counties at the state level, for their precincts at the county level, hold their hand, tell them that you're going to be here for them when they fall, introduce them to people around them who are going to build that net that is going to support them, is going to catch them, but is also going to help lift them forward. Because that is the number one thing that young people lack, is a political family. Especially because a lot of young people are not coming from families who are supporting the kind of political positions that they have taken in their lives and the risks that they are taking. So my call to action is, please support the young people in your lives, give them a path forward, catch them when they fall, and also direct them to me, please. The Young Democrats of North Carolina are doing a lot of amazing things. The Young Democrats of Rowan Cabarrus is a newer chapter we're spreading back into this area. We got our vice president of the chapter right here, Zachary Finley. Now, I cannot claim to be one of yours in Rowan. I am solidly on the Cabarrus side of the Rowan County line, right inside of Kannapolis. So I'm close, but I'm still far. But he is one of yours. And we are looking not only to get more active in this area, but also to give the young people of Rowan County, the opportunity to help us make noise, to take up space for young people at the state level and at the national level. And so if you have any folks, direct them to me. We are building a cohort of skilled young people and getting them in positions to make noise for the issues that they care about in front of the people who need to hear them the most, especially the chair of our state party, the chair of our national party. There are some things that both of them need to hear from young people. I also want to do one small plug for the Young Democrats of North Carolina. We have just had a major victory in the labor movement in North Carolina when it comes to this party, because the executive director and the rest of the executive leadership at Goodwin House voluntarily recognized the Staffers Union for North Carolina Democratic Party. Was just a few, I think a few days before Labor Day that was announced, and that is a major victory for the staff that does everything to keep this party moving forward. And a lot of the staffers who work, those are young people, those are under 36. That's how we define a young person in this party, under 36. The staff that keeps the Democratic Party running overwhelmingly falls into that bracket. The Young Democrats of North Carolina is having an amazing labor panel coming up. We're going to be talking about the state of the movement in North Carolina. We're going to be hearing from young people. Jessica Holmes, who ran for Commissioner of Labor, is going to be on this panel. We have the communications director for the North Carolina AFL-CIO, former Young Dems President Justin Conley, who is a communications chair for the Staffers Union for the NAE, National Association of Educators, is going to be there, as well as someone you might know, Matt Balance, a firefighter, member of the Firefighters Union out in District 11. This is going to be September 17th at 6 p.m. streamed live, real easy URL, live.ydnc.org. live.ydnc.org. That's going to take you to YouTube, where we're going to have this forum at 6 p.m. on the 17th. If y'all want to show up and hear about labor organizing, this is the year it's happening. Biggest labor union, or biggest labor victory in the South happened 20 minutes south of us in Cabarrus, or pardon?
Could you repeat that again?
The URL or the time?
URL.
Live.ydnc, Young Democrats North Carolina.org. Can also get that to you in an email.
Thank you.
We were just ranked the 52nd worst state to work in America. There aren't that many states. That's how bad. We are not only beneath all of the other 49 states. We're below Puerto Rico. We are below the District of Columbia. We are the worst place to work in the Union. But the largest labor victory in the South happened 20 minutes south of us at Cannon Mills in 1999. We are capable of more. Now is the moment. I would love to see y'all there. You don't have to turn your cameras on or anything, so it's going to be a live stream on YouTube, but that's going to be kind of talking about what is the next step at this moment, this apex of the labor movement that's happening right now. What can we do to get more energy in North Carolina? And how can we support unionizing efforts even if we are not currently working? So I would love to see y'all there. And if you have any questions about that, let me know. And thank you for letting me speak today and talk about the importance of youth in the movement.
Don't run away.
Okay, all right. Well, I have a hand over here. I'd like to be able to take a question.
Exactly.
Yes?
Okay, what is the youngest that can be involved? Those that are under voting age at this time?
Let me tell you all a little bit about that. I'm going to preface this by saying that the Democratic Party is a very heavily bureaucratic system, and so people get fit into a lot of different boxes. The youngest the Young Dems can accept is 16 years old. We just recently changed that 16, as soon as you can pre-register as a Democrat. We also have a Teen Democrats organization, the North Carolina Association of Teen Democrats, which is affiliated nationally with the high school Dems. That is all teens. So if you are a teenager, you are welcome there. But another thing I'm going to tell you is that that's what it takes to be on the membership roster. If there is a young person who was looking to get involved, I don't care what age they are. We are looking to mentor and get involved and to help people find whatever place they can fit in, regardless of how old they are or where they are. So think about that. The actual number that is written down on the bylaws does not matter very much to me when it comes to making sure somebody finds their place.
other questions? Mary?
Are there young Democrat chapters set up in our various universities here? Colorado, Livingstone, Wood. I mean, is there an effort to organize at the college level here?
Yes, so there's the college Democrats, adding to that level of bureaucracy I'm talking about there. The College Democrats of North Carolina do have chapters. I am not sure of the specific universities and colleges on which they are organized at this moment. But I do have a good working relationship with Alvaro Reyes Martinez, the president of the College Dems, and I can get that information for you quick, sharp. But yes.
I mean, they're very fertile recruiting grounds,
Yes.
is my point.
Yes. Quite frankly, there's a big problem organizing on college campuses because of two things. First of all, the North Carolina Democratic Party does not put a lot of concerted investment into organizing on college campuses. They put all of that effort, they say the college Dems have to do that. What's the problem with college Dems? College Dems have turnover every 4 years. It is really hard to build a group of people. There has to be investment from people who are outside of that infrastructure who can help walk people along that path. That's kind of what I'm talking about here, is making sure that you have somebody who is kind of outside, who is willing to hold your hand and make sure that we are keeping these institutions alive and breathing. And so if you have connections on any of those campuses, if you have any people who are currently attending those universities, all the time be looking for that, see how you can plug them back in, and see also how we can connect that to the larger infrastructure that's going to be sitting around for longer. That's going to be this county party. And so a lot of times we kind of send people directly to the state organization for that. We're looking at restructuring that to keep people closer to home. So if you have any questions about specifically organizing on those campus due to relationships that you have, you can let me know. I can get anyone in here my contact information. But it's an uphill battle, which is why you might not have been seeing the progress you're looking for so far.
Even if they're recruited, my point is,
Yeah.
even though there's a turnover, if you recruit them at the college level, then you got them. Then they become young Democrats of the future. You know what I mean?
Yes.
That's such, you know, I'm saying,
Yeah.
but that's such fertile ground
It
for
is.
young people.